Plaintiff Joshua Nichols says he went to the movies one day with his family, and when he returned to his car, he noticed a footprint and damage to his vehicle. After Joshua talked to the security officers, they reviewed the surveillance tape, and he discovered the defendant's son jumping on his car. So he's suing. Defendants Issam Hamad and his sons Jamal and Osama admit that Jamal and Osama were jumping on cars in the parking lot that day, and they even pled guilty to the offense in juvenile court. However, they claim there were 2 other boys involved, and they are being held responsible because they are of Arabian descent.
All right, tell me what happened.
Saturday night, July 10th of this year, I took my wife and children to go see a movie. We parked in a freestanding parking structure on the movie theater property, went into the theater, enjoyed the show, came back out, and at first glance in the lights, it looked like something had dumped or spilled on the back half of my car, on the driver's quarter panel and across the trunk. And after taking a closer look at it, there were scratches on the driver's quarter panel, and it looked like a footprint on the trunk of my car. Got a little bit upset. Asked my wife to hold the kids at bay. I went back into the theater and asked to talk to a manager, security guard, both of whom came out. They contacted the local police, who came out and took a report for damage to the property, because in fact it did appear that something or someone had made its way across the trunk of my car. I have some photographs here that show the scratches on the driver's side quarter panel, as well as the dip and the crease in the trunk.
Let's see it. How did you come to believe that the defendants were involved?
Well, sir, there was a security camera in the garage.
Okay.
So after talking with the security guard and the manager of the movie theater, the security guard went back in and came to find the following. I brought it here today if you'd like to watch it, Your Honor.
Let's see it.
So here are the children.
Getting in the camera.
Yeah. You got to mug one out, you know. Now this is the security guard arriving for work prior to the incident. He said he'd actually confronted the kids after they were kicking around a large piece of wood down in the corner, and asked them to leave the parking garage. He believed that they went back into the theater but came back to the garage. I'm not sure if that's all how this turned out. But there we go, across the back of my car. And quarter panel and trunk, and down he went. So, the children were found still on the premises, and this is apparently several hours. Yeah. About 8 p.m., apparently several hours after they'd arrived for the first show they paid to see. They were taken out of the theater into the lobby by the local police. The parents were notified. They were cited for criminal damage to property. And I received this copy of the videotape from the local police through the Freedom of Information Act, and got a copy of the report, but it was redacted heavily because they are juveniles. I didn't know who was who, which name was what. But there was an administrative hearing set in front of a local magistrate on the 10th of August, at which time the 2 gentlemen here, the 2 young men here, did plead liable.
Objective, Your Honor. There was 2 more suspects.
No, he said you 2 did, though. Okay. Is that true?
Yes.
All right, that's all he said. He
sorry,
said you 2 did. And you did, right?
Only us 2.
Excuse me.
I didn't ask whether it was only you 2. His statement was, those 2 pled guilty. Now, is that true or not?
That's true.
Very good. Let him finish.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, Your Honor, if you need to see it, here's the pleading by the youths. And yes, Your Honor, there were 2 other children, 2 other juveniles, but they obviously had nothing to do with the damage to my vehicle.
Did they plead guilty?
They did as well, yes. We went to the administrative hearing on the 10th of August. I was there, as were these 2 defendants and the other 2 children with their guardians, parents, at which point a state's attorney representative stood up to prosecute the case, and I raised my hand and said, well, hang on a second, I've got something that might help. Here's a video. Everything sort of came to a screeching halt for a second. Oh, you got video. Okay, great. So the state's attorney took me off to the side. We watched the tape, and he said, really, do you honestly think that all 4 of these boys? And I said, no, it looks like just one of the 4. But because the information I had was so redacted, I didn't know who was who by name.
Right.
I was surprised that the other two actually pled liable.
Right. Well, the fact is that they're jointly and severally liable, all four who admitted guilt, and you have the choice of suing 1, 2, 3, 4. So let me hear from you all.
First of all, from my background, Arabian. He's suing us, Arabian people, and he left the American people after we went to the court.
Oh, no.
After we went to the court, and each one to the guy applied guilty. And we agree to fix his car. After,
I'm confused about, you said...
I'm Arabian guy.
And so what does that have to do with it? You sound,
Yeah, because it's racist, because the other two people...
Hold on. What's racist, for your kids to jump on the car?
No.
Oh,
Not
what
racist,
part
jump
is
to the
race?
car. After
You
we
decided
agree...
to sue us when the two other guys were white. Why did it? And right, I did damage to the car. Yeah,
Did you hear why he said he didn't sue?
That's why I'm suing you.
But my brother, why did he put his name in the paper?
Want to show the video again?
Sure.
Let's see if the white
That's
guys
fine.
are on there. Go ahead. Color is he? All right, we're done with the race card, or you still want to play it?
Okay, we agreed to fix his car. We went outside, we agree with the parents of the other people to fix his car. We don't have no problem. I told him, I fix your car, no problem.
Okay.
Can I see it?
Your Honor.
I could take it to another body shop and get an estimate. I fix it, no problem. Whatever it's cost, I'm gonna pay half because it's to my son and the other people. We agree with that. After 1 week, he don't mention to the other people, he want me to pay him $2,500. I don't know where they came for $2,500 for. Only $915, and we agree between 4 people they're gonna pay it. It's gonna be my part, half of it. Then I agree with him.
Originally, he agreed that he would only charge you half.
He agreed that he would charge us
He
900.
agreed with your dad, or who did he agree with? All
We were
three of
all
you?
there.
Yeah,
all
for
of us
4
were there.
people.
4
Okay,
people.
no, I need to know who he discussed an agreement with.
With all of us, the parents
Okay, now
of the other
you
parents.
all can't make the agreement. One person says, okay, I'll agree, or did you all three talk at the same time?
Yeah, we were all
Yes,
there.
yes,
You all
yes.
talked at the same
Yes,
time?
after-
I believe you, because that's what
No,
you're doing
no,
now.
no.
Go
I don't-
ahead.
it's
All right. So my point is, sir, my assumption would be you as the father would discuss it with this man, and the two of you would make an agreement.
No.
Your Honor, right after the court case, when we pleaded liable, he took us outside. He was like, hey, we had the parents of the 2 other suspects, $915. You guys split it. I'm suing all you. I don't care who it is. It's $915. That's how much the car for the damages. We said we'll get a better estimate of the car, and all of us will pay for the car that we damaged. Then a week later, we get a letter in the mail going like, he wants to sue us from $915 to $2,500. That's how much he claims. And we agreed a week later. We agreed a week
Did you ever
before.
get that estimate?
The estimate, no, we said we'll pay him. We were like, yeah, $915.
You just told me you said you'd get an estimate.
He never.
Hold on, sir. That's where you all keep talking at the same time. You just said we told him we'd get an estimate.
When he negotiated with us,
Did you get that estimate?
he was like,
Did you get the estimate?
Okay.
No or yes?
No.
No? I can't hear you now. All right. You didn't follow up your side of the agreement, so that agreement no longer existed. Got me? That's why he can come back and sue you for 25, because you breached the agreement.
But then he sent us in the mail only suing both of us,
That's
me and
right.
my brother.
That's what he decided to do, and he can. And he said the reason he is doing that is because he didn't see evidence of the other 2 kids doing anything. Neither did I. Neither did anyone watching. I know there's a lot of discrimination going on against Muslims and Arabs, just like black people, but I don't let black people, Arab people, or nobody else come in here trying to play the race card when it is totally irrelevant. Don't care. Go ahead. So, you say the reason you didn't sue the other 2 because you didn't think they had any liability, even though they pled guilty.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Oh.
That was discussed on the 10th of August following the hearing with the 3 parents, Mr. Hamad and the other 2.
And what is the
children's parents.
estimate for the repairs?
The estimate for the repairs is $918 and change. And Your Honor, initially what you're looking at is a copy of a complaint that I was going to file in civil court against all of the parties if we weren't able to reach some sort of an agreement. After talking with the parents after the hearing, it's obvious that we weren't going to get an agreement.
Correct.
In fact, the conversation ended with Mr. Mott saying, I'll see you in court. So here we are.
And that's what happens, sir. When you can't get an agreement or you agree on something and one party breaches that agreement, then the agreement no longer exists and he can go back to whatever his original intentions were. With regard to the punitive damages,
Yes, sir, Your Honor.
that is based on what we just saw, obviously. And punitive damages are granted when something is done out of malice, malicious, intentional, intentionally doing something to damage someone's property. And that appears to have been the case. And once again, let me tell you, sir, that I'm probably more sensitive about race discrimination than anybody you've met. And I try and keep this courtroom as colorblind as possible. We know that society isn't colorblind, so I know that it is involved in a lot of instances. In this case, we have no evidence that that is the case. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, why? The question is why they took 4 of the boys to the court the first time. If he don't want to sue, he saw the tape and he know my son did that. Why he went to the court and took them 4 boys to the court the first time?
For criminal prosecution, that's not up to him. That's the police. And that's what the police do. They sweep up everybody. When the police come through and 2 people have a gun and the other people are just standing back, they say, no, everybody's going to jail. And then what happens is the prosecutor determines, based on the evidence, who they want to prosecute. All right?
No, I agree with him. I told him my son did something wrong. I agree. Everybody make a wrong stuff, but I'm not saying I'm not paying you. I'm paying you.
But
We
I don't
agree.
want you to feel that you're being discriminated against because of your ethnicity. There are a lot of Arab people and Muslims being discriminated against much more than the past. And I argue against that all the time. You're probably a better American than most of the people who are trying to discriminate against you. So I wouldn't be one to go with that. All right, judgment for the plaintiff, but I want to make sure you understand that I would not let anyone get away with any ethnic discrimination in here. And I'm very sensitive because it happens so much in society, but it won't happen here. $2,500 is your judgment.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
I'm sorry that I did whatever damage was done to the car, and I'm a kid. I'll learn my lesson, I guess, and I learn from my mistakes.
Everybody gonna make mistake. Them kids making mistake, and sometimes we have to pay for it, But I don't want my son do anything wrong to anybody. And I told him, I'm sorry, let's repeat, I'm sorry. It's not attention to damage his car or do something,
I'm glad that the video spoke for itself. I understand their concern that there weren't 4 boys here. The other 2 boys really had nothing to do with this, so I didn't see the need to prosecute them. There was no intent of race, creed, color, religion, anything involved. They damaged my car. I just want my car to be fixed.